What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. Today we're talking about Tesla's Made in China Model 3 and the Gigafactory 3 Shanghai. We've got a very exciting update from the company about that. Tesla has confirmed that they will be delivering the first 15 Made in China Model 3s on December 30th, Monday. That is tomorrow, as I'm recording this, to employees. These are going to be the first official deliveries in China. This is a huge landmark for Tesla in what is poised to be a very exciting market for them for years to come. So a little bit of background here. What was literally a pile of mud in January just outside of Shanghai, Tesla announced these plans to build this Gigafactory 3, this huge vehicle production facility, which actually would be the first ever car factory built in China, wholly owned by a foreign automaker. That's right. Up until now, everyone has had to partner with a Chinese company to build a factory in the country, but they changed that rule because they wanted Tesla and its technology there so badly. Well, just in 11 months, they went from something that didn't exist to building this state-of-the-art automotive manufacturing facility. It's been incredible to watch, absolutely astonishing, potentially the fastest built factory in the world. And this is not small by any means. Phase one of this project has been planned to pump out about 150,000 Model 3s per year, and then potentially expanding the capacity to up to maybe 500,000 or more cars per year as things really get underway. We got some amazing footage from Real Chao Zhu, who has been an amazing Twitter account following the Tesla Gigafactory 3 progress in Shanghai, and he posted this video on December 27th of the parking lot outside the factory. And as you can see, this drone footage shows hundreds of Model 3s. I counted about 500 or 600. Unclear if all of them are fit for delivery, but clearly the production line, which has been going since October, November, or doing trial runs since then at least, is clearly getting off the ground. And although they're only delivering 15 cars on December 30th, they have hundreds at least in inventory, and it appears to be that production is up and running and in the process of scaling. So this is super exciting. Additionally, at the same time, Bloomberg is reporting that Tesla has been given a new purchase exemption, or a 10% exemption from a 10% purchase tax for its China-built Model 3 sedans, which is only going to accelerate demand for the vehicles in the country. I think this is something consumers had been waiting for. So awesome to see the government approve that just as the Model 3s roll off the line. This is another example of the Chinese government doing everything they can to really make this factory and Tesla's entrance into the country a huge success. They've been rolling out the red carpet for the company, which is pretty rare. Another example of that and how they're financing all of this is Tesla just filed a Form 8K with the Securities and Exchange Commission. They raised a secured term loan facility of 9 billion RMB and an unsecured revolving loan facility of 2.25 billion RMB. That's about 11.25 billion yuan, calculated to current USD exchange rates. That's about 1.6 billion. So in short, Tesla just raised about 1.6 billion to really ramp up and get this factory to the next phase. That funding was done by a consortium of Chinese banks. I hadn't really heard of any of them, but China Construction Bank Corporation, China Shanghai Pilot Free Trade Zone Special Area Branch, Agricultural Bank of China, and a few more. But once again, China is doing everything they can to help Tesla out here, giving them a low interest rate loan to actually complete the building of this facility. So adding this all up, Tesla is now off to the races. They will be ramping the deliveries from here, going from 15 tomorrow and scaling that up. These are just sort of back of the napkin estimates. I just wanted to put pen to paper to see what I think. I assumed 30 deliveries in Q4, 15 on Monday, I guess another 15 on Tuesday. I don't know, I'm just guessing. But judging by the fact they have hundreds of cars in the parking lot already, I think Tesla's probably building a couple hundred Model 3s per week, or that's what they can get to in a very short amount of time, hitting 1,000 per week. The goal is sometime in 2020, I believe, to hit 1,000 per week, but I think they're going to crush that later in the year. So I see them hitting about 5,000 units in Q1, 15,000 in Q2, 25,000 in Q3, and 35,000 units delivered, all made in China Model 3s in Q4. And it is important to know, I'm putting Model 3 in my chart here, but this could totally be Model Y as well. This is just units. I think the selling price is going to be about the same, so it won't matter too much. But I do think Tesla could start selling the Model Y in China very soon as well, maybe as soon as the US, which could happen in Q1 or Q2 of this year. So I'm going to be looking for that. And it says Model 3, but this could be Model Y as well. But this is what I think the general production capacity and sales are going to be of Tesla Gigafactory 3 Shanghai. If we translate this into revenue, we see this scaling from hundreds of millions, 225 million in Q1 to over 1.5 billion in Q4, and I assumed an average selling price of $45,000. So this is just a quick back of the napkin math to show you we could be looking at well over $1 billion in revenue per quarter just from this Gigafactory 3 Shanghai. And why do I think this is conservative? So I have them scaling here to 35 units in Q4 2020. That would be a run rate of about 140,000 units per year. According to Tesla's latest official guidance from Gigafactory 3 Shanghai, the first phase of this is scheduled to be building about 150,000 units per year. So I basically have them ramping out capacity of phase one in Q4. So a lot of rumors have been going to this. I guess this puts my full year 2018 this puts my full year 2020 made in China delivery estimate at about 80,000 units, which is higher than what some Wall Street analysts have been putting, but lower than a lot of people who've been getting excited about this. Tesla has called this numerous times a sort of next generation production line. They think they're gonna be able to scale this much faster than anything we've seen before. The backlog for these cars is huge. I mean, like I said, China is the world's largest vehicle market, and so it is conceivable that in the long run, Tesla could be selling, 300,000 or 400,000 units per year, or not, if not more, in China than in the US. Even Vincent, a good friend of mine, who is also on another Tesla podcast with me, The Third Row, we were just talking about China on that show, and he mentioned that he thinks this could even be a potentially bigger market for Tesla in the long run than the US. And by population, by cars, it all makes sense. And so this is Tesla's entrance into what is an extremely exciting opportunity. And up until now, they frankly have been competing with their hands tied behind their back. They've had to build cars in California, an extremely expensive environment, ship them overseas, wait a month to get the cash, building it all up front, paying for the shipping costs, paying for these import tariffs, paying for the purchase tax. And yet, despite all of that, Tesla's been an extremely successful brand in China, generating billions of revenue in the region, getting consumers extremely excited. Like, the Tesla brand is very powerful in China. And so this is going to be a next phase of that growth, where they're essentially able to provide a much faster product that's built locally, drop prices significantly. At the same time, they've been turbocharging software development for specifically Chinese consumers. I think they're going to launch the Chinese YouTube soon. Tencent, which is a Chinese social media sort of tech conglomerate, owns about 5% of Tesla. So I assume they're helping Tesla get some of the content and sort of tech side going for Chinese consumers as well. I don't know, it's like a pop the champagne moment for everyone who's been waiting for Gigafactory 3 Shanghai, because now it's generating revenue. It's just off to the races. It's all about how fast they can ramp. So super, super excited. Of course, I'm going to be following the progress very closely here on Hyperchange. Congratulations, Tesla China, an epic milestone. This is Hyperchange. Thank you so much for tuning in, and to our Patreon supporters, producers, funding the channel. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.